Ladies and gentlemen, there will always be voices, some loud, some subtle, that will try to shake your belief. Some will come from the outside, and some will whisper from within. But if there is one thing you must guard with every beat of your heart, it is your dream. Not just the idea of it, but the fire behind it, the story it tells, and the purpose it holds. Protect your dreams from doubt like you would protect a child lost in the storm, fragile, scared, but full of potential. Because dreams are not just fantasies. They are the maps to the life your soul is trying to build. Doubt is not always a villain with a harsh voice. Sometimes it is quiet. It shows up when you are alone, when the room is silent, and when the world seems too big for someone like you. It says things like, what if you're not good enough? Or what if this fails and everyone sees it? It whispers fear and dresses it up as caution. It does not scream. It slowly creeps in. But the truth is, doubt is not always bad. It is a signal that something matters to you, that this thing you're about to do, it's important. If it did not matter, you would not be scared. So when doubt shows up, do not run away from it. Look at it, talk to it, ask it questions. Understand why it's there, and then keep going anyway. People often think that doubt means stop, that if you are unsure, maybe it is not for you, but that is not true. Doubt only means you are growing. You are stepping into something unfamiliar, and unfamiliar always feels uncomfortable. That is not a sign to stop. It is a sign to move forward, carefully but confident. You must protect your dream from doubt, the way a gardener protects a seed from the frost. Gently, with patience, and with faith that it will bloom. You cannot stop doubt from visiting, but you can stop it from unpacking and living in your heart. You do that by feeding your dream every day, small steps, daily effort, and constant belief. Even when nothing seems to be working. You will hear voices from outside, people who think they know better. They will say things like, this is not practical, or nobody does it that way. But remember, those people are not you. They do not carry your fire. They do not wake up with your dream in their chest. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to show up anyway. The hardest doubt to fight is your own, because it knows your weaknesses. It knows your fears, and it will use your past mistakes against you. But remind yourself, your mistakes are not your identity. They are proof that you tried, that you lived, that you dared to build something bigger than your fear. Every dream comes with a cost, and the first price you pay is dealing with doubt. So normalize it. Expect it. Let it walk beside you if it must, but never let it lead. Keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your eyes on the road. You may not have all the answers, and that is okay. What matters is that you believe enough to keep moving. Even when the path is blurry, your feet can still walk. Even when your heart is unsure, your hands can still build. Do not wait for perfect confidence. It may never come. But courage, that is a decision you make again and again, until doubt no longer holds power over your dream. Protecting your dreams is not a passive thing. It is an active, conscious decision you make every single day. Just like you guard your peace, your time, your energy, you must guard your dreams. They are delicate, especially in the beginning. Like a small flame trying to survive the wind, your dreams need shelter. They need you to be brave enough to say, no, I will not let this go, even when everything around you is pulling you in a different direction. There will be people who laugh at your ideas, people who make subtle comments, or sometimes not so subtle ones, people who remind you of statistics, failures, market realities, and all the things that could go wrong. And here's what you have to understand. Those people are not evil, they're just afraid. They are afraid of change, afraid of possibility, afraid of what your dream represents. Because when you dare to dream, you make others question why they stopped. And not everyone likes that mirror. So when you hear their words, feel their judgment, or sense their disapproval, remember, it's not about you, it's about them. And you owe no one an explanation for wanting a better life, a different life, a more meaningful life. Your dreams are your truth. They don't need to be big in the eyes of the world. They just need to be big in your heart. But here's the hard part. Most of the time, the doubt does not come from outside. It comes from inside. From that little voice that says, what's the point? Or this is too much. Or you're not ready. And that is where the real protection comes in. Because no one hears that voice except you. No one can shut it down except you. It is in those quiet battles, the ones no one else sees, where your dream either grows or withers. So, what does it mean to protect your dream like you protect your peace? It means setting boundaries. It means not talking about your plans to people who only know how to criticize. It means being very careful about who you share your energy with. Some people can drain you just by being around them. Some rooms feel heavy, not because of the air, but because of the energy of the people in them. Pay attention to that. Protect yourself from that. It also means protecting your routine, your focus, your time. Dreams do not grow without discipline, and discipline is just another form of love. Love for yourself, love for your future. The world is full of noise, full of distractions, full of trends that come and go. If you are not careful, you will spend your life reacting instead of building. Protecting your dream means turning down the volume of the world so you can hear your own voice clearly. And most of all, it means trusting yourself. Even when you do not have proof yet, even when the results are not showing, even when the progress is slow and boring. Because here's the truth, nobody tells you. Most dreams grow in silence, in solitude, in seasons where nothing looks exciting. Protecting your dream is knowing that just because it is not visible does not mean it is not happening. It is happening every time you say no to distraction. Every time you wake up when you do not feel like it. Every time you pick yourself up after a bad day and decide to keep trying. Courage over comfort is not a one-time decision. It is a mindset you choose again and again when the easy way is right in front of you. But your heart tells you to take the harder road. Comfort is warm, familiar, and safe. It does not question you. It does not challenge you. But it also does not grow you. Courage, on the other hand, is uncomfortable. It asks more from you. It demands honesty, discipline, and the willingness to face your fears without guarantees. But it is the only path where real transformation lives. Dreams are not born in comfort zones. They are born in the space between who you are and who you are becoming. That space is often filled with uncertainty, doubt, and risk. It is tempting to turn back, to stay where things make sense. But every time you choose comfort over courage, you trade your potential for momentary peace. And that peace never lasts. Because deep down, you know you were made for more. Courage does not always look bold and loud. Sometimes, it is quiet and persistent. It is the decision to show up to your dream, even when no one claps. It is the strength to keep going even when the outcome is unclear. It is standing in a room where nobody believes in you, and saying, I believe in me. That kind of courage shakes foundations. That kind of courage builds legacies. There will be moments when comfort will disguise itself as wisdom. You will hear things like, be practical, play it safe, don't get your hopes up. But what they really mean is don't try too hard. Don't get disappointed. Don't grow. It is fear wearing a mask. And if you follow that voice, you will live a life that is small, but predictable, safe, but silent. You will survive, but you will not thrive. Every act of courage is a seed. It may not sprout immediately. Sometimes it will feel like nothing changed. But slowly, you will become someone different, someone stronger, someone clearer. Your confidence will not come from empty words, but from lived experience. You will look back and realize that the scariest steps were the ones that shaped you the most. Choosing courage is not about being fearless. It is about walking with fear and not letting it lead. It is about hearing that inner voice that says, you might fail, and replying, maybe, but I'm still going. You do not have to feel brave to act brave. You just have to move. One step, then another, then another. The feeling will follow the action, not the other way around. People will notice your courage, but they will not always understand it. They will ask why you are working so hard for something that has no guarantee. They will wonder why you are still trying after so many setbacks, and that is because most people settle for comfort. Most people stay where it is familiar. Your courage will challenge that. It will make some people uncomfortable. That is not your problem. That is their reflection. You owe it to yourself to be uncomfortable in the right direction. Not because it is easy, not because it is glamorous, but because it is yours, your dream, your journey, your life. The discomfort you feel when you stretch is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that you are alive, that you are moving, that you are becoming. Keep choosing courage in your word, in your actions, in the way you show up for yourself. Let comfort be the reward, not the goal, because everything beautiful, everything lasting, everything worth having, it all begins with that one hard, brave, uncomfortable step. Dreams do not need validation, they need dedication, waiting for someone to approve your path before you begin walking it. It is like standing at the edge of the ocean, asking the waves to stop before you take a step. You will be waiting forever. Validation feels good in the moment. It gives you comfort, a sense of belonging, a pat on the back that whispers, you're doing the right thing. But dreams are not powered by comfort. They are powered by consistency, work, faith, and relentless effort. If you only move when someone claps, you will lose momentum. The second the applause fades, there will be people who never understand your dream and never validate it, and that must not stop you. Sometimes they will ignore it. Sometimes they will belittle it. Sometimes they will act like it does not matter. But their silence does not mean your dream is small. Their absence does not mean you are alone. Your vision was not born to make sense to everyone else. It was born to lead you somewhere new, and that road demands your full attention, not their approval. Dedication is quiet. It looks like early mornings, long nights, and 1,000 small steps taken when no one is watching. It is the decision to keep going when the results are invisible. It is the strength to wake up again with hope after yesterday gave you none. Dedication does not ask for praise. It does not wait for someone to notice. It just shows up again and again, no matter what. Validation is temporary. It can be taken away. It depends on moods, trends, timing, and other people's opinions. But dedication is yours. It is something you build from the inside out. It grows in the soil of your routine. It thrives in your solitude. It sharpens in your struggle. And it speaks louder than any compliment ever could. When you are dedicated, the world starts to notice. not because you ask it to, but because your work speaks for itself. Many people dream, fewer people begin, even fewer stay consistent, and only a rare few remain committed long enough to see the dream become real. Those rare few did not wait for validation. They worked in silence, they failed and learned. They sacrificed comfort, ignored doubt, and kept showing up. That is the path. That is the truth. There is no shortcut, no secret door, just dedication. When you seek validation, you give others the power to decide your worth. When you stay dedicated, you take that power back. You begin to move from a place of purpose, not permission. And that shift changes everything. You no longer care if people approve. You care if you improve. You no longer seek applause. You seek growth. You no longer need permission to be great. You decide that for yourself. Some people will never say, "I'm proud of you," not because you do not deserve it, but because they are too busy battling their own fear. Do not let their silence become your weakness. Let it become your fuel. Let it remind you that your dream is not about them. It is about what you build, who you become, and the impact you leave behind. You do not need a round of applause to make your work meaningful. You just need to stay loyal to the dream you once whispered to yourself when no one else was listening. Keep building, keep trying, keep trusting the process. The results will come. The recognition might fall. But even if it does not, you will still have something better, proof that you were dedicated when no one was watching, and that your dream was never dependent on anyone but you. Failure does not mean your dream is invalid. It means your process is real. In fact, if you're not failing, you're probably not trying hard enough. Failure is not a stop sign. It is a signal that you are moving, stretching, reaching beyond your comfort zone. It means you are daring to build something meaningful, something that demands effort, learning, and growth. Dreams are not achieved in a straight line. They are built through setbacks, redirections, detours, and breakdowns. Every failure adds a layer to your foundation, a lesson to your wisdom, and a strength to your spirit. People often treat failure like a full stop, as if one misstep is proof that they are not good enough or that their dream was a mistake. But the truth is, failure is proof that you showed up, that you stepped into the arena, that you dared to act when others stood still. And every time you fall and get back up, you are not going back to the beginning. You are going forward with more understanding, more clarity, and more fire than before. The most dangerous thing is not failing. It is staying frozen in the fear of it. It is letting the fear of falling keep you from ever taking the leap. That kind of fear is paralyzing. It convinces you to stay safe, stay hidden, stay small, but your dream was never meant to live in a box. It was meant to be tested, refined, and proven through trial. It becomes stronger every time you fall and choose to rise again. When you look at people who have achieved great things, do not just look at their victory. Look at the rejections, the losses, the humiliations, the times they almost gave up. Those are the moments that built them, that shaped their character, and carved their resilience. Success without failure is just luck. But success after failure, that is legacy, that is earned, that is sacred. The world does not need perfect people. It needs honest people. People who are brave enough to say, "I failed," and wise enough to say, "But I learned." Every failure reveals something. Sometimes it shows you what does not work. Sometimes it exposes a weakness. Sometimes it redirects you to a better path. But every single time, it teaches you something valuable. The only real failure is ignoring the lesson. There will be moments when the failure hurts, when it feels personal, when the disappointment is so heavy that you question everything. In those moments, be gentle with yourself. Let yourself feel the sting. But do not stay there. Do not let the failure become your identity. You are not your mistakes. You are the person who keeps going in spite of them. Some people will try to use your failures against you. They will say things like, "See, I told you it wouldn't work." They will act as if your one fall erases all your efforts. Do not listen to them. Their judgment is not your reality. They are just spectators. You are the one doing the work. You are the one carrying the weight. You are the one showing up again and again, even when it is hard. Let your failures be part of your story, not the end of it. Wear them like badges, not burdens. They are reminders that you are alive, that you are trying, that you are building something worth fighting for. No one who ever did anything meaningful avoided failure. They embraced it, learned from it, moved through it, and so will you. Not everyone will understand your vision, and they are not supposed to. That is one of the hardest, but most important truths to accept when you are building something meaningful. People see the world through the lens of their own experiences, their own fears, their own limitations. So when you share your dream, your vision, your plan, you are asking them to see something they have never seen before. And not everyone has the capacity to do that. Sometimes the people closest to you will be the ones who understand the least. Friends, family, even mentors. They might love you but still question you. Not because they want to stop you, but because they cannot see what you see. You see the mountain. They only see the fog. You see the finish line. They only see the obstacles. And that is okay. Their doubt does not have to become your doubt. Their fear does not have to become your fear. It is not your job to convince everyone. It is not your responsibility to gather approval before you take the first step. Dreams are not community projects. They begin in solitude, grow in silence, and are built in moments that often feel lonely. If you are always waiting for someone to cheer you on, you might miss your own chance to move. Because sometimes there will be no applause, no one clapping, just you and your quiet determination. And when people misunderstand you, they might label you, they might call you stubborn, unrealistic, too ambitious, too slow, too idealistic, too something. Do not let their labels stick to your spirit. Because your vision was not placed in their heart. It was placed in yours. You are the one who has to carry it, even when it feels heavy. You are the one who has to keep walking, even when the road gets lonely. One of the most freeing things you can do is to stop explaining yourself. Stop shrinking your dreams so they make others comfortable. Stop watering down your fire so people can sit closer without feeling the heat. Your vision is not meant to be digestible for everyone. It is meant to challenge, stretch, and expand you. And sometimes that means walking alone for a while. That is not failure. That is focus. The world is full of noise. Opinions are everywhere. And if you are not grounded in your own truth, you will start to believe what others say about you. You will start to question your path every time someone looks confused or disapproves. That kind of life is exhausting. That kind of life drains your spirit. The more you chase external validation, the more distant your dream becomes. Because it was never meant to be built by the applause of others. It was meant to be built by your own hands. When people do not understand your dream, it does not mean you are wrong. It means you are early. You are ahead of their imagination. And that is a gift. You have the ability to see what is not yet visible. You have the power to create what has never been done before. That kind of vision is rare. Protect it, honor it, and most of all, believe in it. Keep showing up, keep creating, keep going, even when the world does not get it. Because eventually, when your dream takes shape, those same people who questioned you will start to ask how you did it. But by then, you will not need their understanding. You will have your reality. Silence your inner critic with louder action. That voice inside your head, the one that doubts your ability, questions your worth, and compares you to everyone else, is not always telling the truth. It is echoing every insecurity you have picked up from the world around you. It is built from past mistakes, failures, fears, and every time you were told you were not enough. But here's the truth that often gets buried under all that noise. That voice gets weaker every time you do the thing it says you cannot do. The inner critic loves to talk when you are still. It thrives in moments of hesitation, in spaces where you are overthinking, waiting, worrying. But action has a way of quieting it. Not because you magically feel confident, but because every step forward makes the voice less convincing. When you act in spite of fear, you send a message to your brain that you are capable, that you are willing, and that you are not afraid to try. You cannot argue your way out of self-doubt. You cannot always reason with it. Sometimes the only answer is movement. Taking the first step, writing the first word, making the first call, whatever your dream requires. Do that, especially when your mind says you are not ready. Because readiness is rarely a feeling. It is a decision to act before everything feels perfect. And in that action, you build confidence, not the other way around. The inner critic is sneaky. It does not always shout. Sometimes it pretends to be helpful. It says things like, "You should wait until you're better," or "Someone else can do this better than you." It sounds logical, even protective. But it is not. It is resistance disguised as reason. It is fear pretending to be a friend. And if you listen to it for too long, you will mistake it for wisdom. One of the most powerful things you can do is to stop feeding that voice. Every time you delay, procrastinate, or hold back, you feed it. You give it space to grow. But when you act imperfectly, messily, bravely, you starve it. You remind yourself that progress matters more than perfection, that movement matters more than mastery, and that the only way to become who you want to be is to start where you are. You do not silence the inner critic by becoming flawless. You silence it by becoming unstoppable, by showing up when you are tired, by trying again after you fail, by building momentum when everything tells you to pause. The voice will still be there sometimes. It may always have something to say. But the more you act, the less power it holds. Most of the people you admire did not get to where they are because their inner voice was kind. They got there because they kept going anyway. They learned to act before they felt ready. They learned to focus more on doing than doubting. And over time, their confidence grew, not because the inner critic disappeared, but because they stopped letting it lead. It is okay to hear that voice. It is even okay to acknowledge it. But do not give it the final say. Do not let it hold the pen when you are writing your story. Your dream is too important to let it be rewritten by fear. Let your actions speak louder. Let your steps forward become your proof. Let your progress become your reply. Because every single thing you do in the direction of your dream makes the critic smaller and your voice strong. The people who doubt you are often projecting their own fears. Do not carry their baggage. What they say about your dream often has more to do with what they believe about themselves than what they believe about you. When someone tells you that your idea is unrealistic, it is usually because they never dared to think bigger. When someone laughs at your plan, it is because they never gave themselves permission to imagine beyond what they were taught. Doubt from others is not a reflection of your capacity, it is a mirror of their own limits. People carry their past with them like luggage packed with every rejection, every failure, every time they were told no. Some carry it with bitterness, some with caution, some with shame, and when they see you trying to run free, building something bold, dreaming something different, it unsettles them. It reminds them of the roads they never took. Instead of cheering, they project. Instead of supporting, they shrink your vision to fit their experience. If you are not careful, you will start to carry their fears like they are your own. Their words can be heavy. Sometimes it is not even what they say. It is the way they look at you, the silence when you share something important, the forced smile when you talk about your goal. That energy, that subtle disapproval, can start to echo in your head. If you let it, it can become louder than your own voice. And that is how dreams begin to die, not through storms, but through the slow erosion of confidence. That is why you must draw a line between your path and their pain. Compassion is good, but boundaries are better. You can love someone and still not accept their version of your reality. You can respect them and still not agree with their opinions about your dream. You are not responsible for healing their fears or living by their limits. You are responsible for staying loyal to the vision inside you. That vision is your responsibility, not your family's, not your friends, yours. When people say be careful, sometimes what they mean is, do not get hurt the way I did. When they say you should play it safe, they're really saying, I tried once and it did not work. It comes from a place of pain, not always from bad intentions. But even well-meaning fear is still fear, and if you internalize it, you will start to question the dream that once made you feel alive. You have to learn to separate advice from projection. Real advice empowers. It helps you think better, plan smarter, grow stronger. Projection, on the other hand, is wrapped in fear and hesitation. It is advice based on wounds, not wisdom. You will know the difference by how it makes you feel. If someone's words make you shrink, feel small, feel stuck, that is not guidance. It is baggage, and you do not have to carry it. You are allowed to walk away from voices that weigh you down. You are allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to believe in a future that no one else sees. You do not need everyone to understand. You just need to keep walking, keep trusting, keep growing. Your path will reveal itself in time, and the ones who once doubted you might one day come to you for advice. But whether they do or not is not the point. The point is you moved forward without dragging their fears with you.